Hey everybody, it's Amy coming at you for my 3-month post-op update. Today is June the 6th, 2016. I had my surgery on March the 10th, 2016 at Rex Hospital in Raleigh, North Carolina. The procedure that I had was a biliopancreatic diversion with a duodenal switch, also known as SIPS or SADI or Loop DS. Essentially, it's a modified DS. I had two parts of the procedure, one of which was a sleeve gastrectomy where they removed 2/3 of my stomach, um, which I got confirmation from my doctor today. And then the other portion was it's a malabsorptive component. They removed a portion of my small intestines, so I don't absorb all the fat, protein, nutrients, carbs, all that stuff from the food that I do eat. But if you've been watching my videos for a while, you probably already know that. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Thanks for coming in to talk with me today. So, other stats that we can talk about. So my highest weight ever was the beginning of my pre-op diet. It was 401 pounds. My surgery weight was 379. And as of today, which is almost 3 months post-op, I was 314. So I think since my last update, I think I'm down about 11 pounds. Since surgery date, I'm down 67, I think. And since my highest weight, I'm down like 87 pounds. 63, I think, and then it's 87. So I'm down 87 pounds. So today was my first appointment with my doctor since my 2-week post-op update. So I went in there with a list of questions that I could ask them to get some clarification on, and then they told me some things that I'm doing really well, and they told me some things that I need to work on. Overall, they said they are super pleased with my success so far. I asked them if, considering my BMI, my age, my starting weight, how does my progress rack up? Like, is this typical? Am I behind the grade? Am I above the grade? What do I need to change? And they told me that my results are not typical. In fact, I've lost more weight than most people do. So I'm not sure. They said there's a couple of reasons for that, most likely. One of which is my exercise regime, which is I work out 5 days a week, and for at least 45 minutes a day. So they're really pleased with that. They say that's certainly contributing to it. Plus, I'm eating seems to be the right things. 2 weeks ago, before I had this appointment, I knew I was going to have it, so I went and I had my blood labs done. So they drew the blood. It takes about 2 weeks for the results to come back in, and so that way we reviewed them today. At my appointment. And so we went over that, which I'll get into in just a little bit. So, like I said, I had a list of questions. So for those of you who are kind of going through this the first time, I'll, read off some of my questions, and hopefully that might be a little bit helpful for you. So as I mentioned, I asked specifically how much of my stomach was removed because I didn't really know. I hear different things like 80%, 60%, 50%, I don't know. So I asked, and he said about 2/3 was removed. So 66% of my stomach was removed. So essentially your stomach's like a big, weird shaped thing. They removed the excess 2/3. So basically it's just like the shape of a weird banana. I still have my pyloric valve, which means that the food will trickle out of my stomach into my intestines slowly, naturally, gradually, as opposed to just kind of dumping in. But they removed about 2/3. I asked if I'm fully healed. Like, are all the stuff inside and my incisions, all that stuff, am I completely fully healed, or do I still need to take it easy, or what? And they said, absolutely not. I'm completely fully healed. If I wanted to, I don't have any weight restrictions in terms of stuff, the amount that I'm picking up, lifting up, carrying around. If I wanted to do some more strength training and focus on my core muscles, I could do that. Wouldn't be a problem. That doesn't mean that I'm going to do it right now, but I could if I wanted to. There's nothing really stopping me except for, me. We talked about, I'm trying to organize what I want to talk about here. I've recorded this video several times, so forgive me if I seem a little out of sorts. It's because my stupid video has been messing up, and so forgive me. I asked about alcohol. So in a couple of weeks, I'm going on a trip. I'm going to Las Vegas, and I want to know about alcohol. Could I, try it or have a little bit? And he said no. He said don't. Oops, sorry. He said don't. He said if they recommend a whole year of abstaining from alcohol. And if I was closer to 9 months or 10 months, he might say, yeah, you could try it. But 3 months out, it's just too soon. It's just too soon, and he just doesn't want to recommend that I would do that. He doesn't want. I'm making tremendous progress, and he said it's still new. I'm following the program really, really well. I'm adhering to everything. Yeah, to a fault almost. I'm a little OCD. I'm a little anal retentive about it, which we talked a little bit about. I'll get into that later. But he said, just don't push it. It's not worth it. Just keep doing what I'm doing. So, all right. We'll see about that. I'm not entirely convinced that I will. Maybe I'll try if my husband's gonna, if we're gonna have a glass of wine with dinner, or if he's gonna have a glass of wine with dinner, I might try, I don't know, like a thimble of it, just to see what happens. But anyway, I'm planning on not having any. What else did we talk about? I asked about hair loss. So it's been about 3 months, and I hear that hair loss is a legitimate thing, especially with the rapid weight loss. I asked if I should start proactively taking biotin. He said if I can if I want. Some of the boards that I remember looking at, some of the Facebook groups and the boards, and people said, some people said, yeah, I had tremendous weight loss and hair loss. So they started proactively taking biotin. Other women that I talked to, they said I took biotin in preparation for losing a lot of weight, and the only hair that it grew was on my chin and my mustache. So at this point, I'm sure you can't tell. I have a ton of hair, and you can't tell how thick it is because it's straightened right now. But I have some hair. I'm sitting outside on my backyard right now, and it's kind of humid today. There's a possibility that a storm's coming. So I'm sure as this video progresses, my hair is gonna as it gets more and more humid, my hair is gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's just gonna take up the entire screen, and I will just turn into Shaka Khan. So just be prepared for that. So anyway, my point is I have lots of hair, and I have lots of hair to spare. So if it starts thinning a little bit, that's probably fine. I shed a lot all the time. You should see my floors. Every time I brush my damn hair or wash my hair, I shed a lot. So if I start to lose a little bit of hair, stranger things have happened. I just don't want to, I'm okay with hair thinning. So I'll keep an eye on it. If I notice that it starts getting, worse or something that I need to do something, but then I'll start taking the biotin, but I'm not going to start taking it right now, based upon what he recommended. So he said also biotin is kind of expensive. So if I don't feel like I need to take it right now, then I'm not going to. All right. What else? I've heard about what they call a rapid weight loss period, which I've heard that it can happen from months 3 to 6 or from months 6 to 9. Like, when does this rapid weight loss period start? He said, I'm in it. So basically it's what he would say is like the first 12 months. That's when you lose the most weight. The first 12 months, it'll come off much easier. After that, I'm really going to have to work for it. But by that time, I'll be certainly closer to my goal weight, I guess, theoretically. Okay, so that's about the questions that I had. Some of the other things that we discussed were the results from my labs. So a big thing for me, I'm not sure, I think I've talked about it before. I was type 2 diabetic pre-surgery. I was taking Lantus insulin twice a day, 70 units twice a day, and I was also taking Humalog with my meals. So I was big time insulin. I was taking it all the time. I have not taken anything since I left the hospital, as I've mentioned in previous videos. My A1C around the start of my pre-op testing was 7.1. The goal is to be less than 7, and it was 7.1. But I was taking lots of medicine. I was taking tons of insulin. So it was being managed it was a little on the high side. It was being managed through medicine. So, but since I left the hospital, I haven't taken anything, and the results from my blood labs, my A1C is 5.7, which is really exciting. That was one of the major reasons why I wanted to have surgery, because I didn't want to have diabetes anymore. So I don't. So I asked him, I said, I've been testing my blood sugar 4 times a day. Do I need to keep doing that? And he said, no. Fortunately, I can tell the symptoms of when my blood sugar is high. So if I start noticing those, I'll start testing again with my test strips. But as of right now, I don't have to, which blows my freaking mind. That's just so exciting. I'm so over the moon about it. We talked a little bit about blood pressure. My blood pressure was a little bit high going in there today, but I think that's because I was a little bit nervous. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I'm going to continue to test it here at the house, maybe a couple of times a day. He says if my, I don't remember which one it is, the top number, the 120, if it goes below 120, then I can stop taking that 1/2 pill that I'm taking a day. I'm actually I made an appointment this Friday with my PCP, so that way I can go talk to her about this update, about everything. I haven't seen her in quite a while, so I'm gonna go see her, and I need to get a prescription refill for my thyroid problem. So I'll go talk to her and talk to her about my blood pressure. She's the one who prescribed my blood pressure medicine, so we'll talk a little bit about that too. The big thing that we really talked about was he was really pleased with everything that I've been doing in terms of the exercise, because I've had tremendous weight loss so far. In only 3 months, I've lost like 80-something pounds. And he said that will happen. I told him, I said, by the end of this month, or the 24th of June is when I'm going to Vegas. And I said, I have a goal that I want to be at 300 pounds or less for that, which is in about 3 weeks. And, that sounds like, oh my God, you want to lose like 15 pounds or 14 pounds or whatever in 3 weeks? That sounds pretty high. So we're talking about that. And he's like, you're going to hit that, no problem. You're going to hit that. You're going to be probably under 300 pounds by the time you go. So that'd be cool, I guess. But the one thing that he's concerned about is that I'm not eating enough. So right now I'm averaging between 800 to 900, if I'm going to be real, between 700 to 900 calories a day. I eat 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For breakfast, as I've mentioned before, I just have a protein shake generally, or GenPro, with coffee, and then I just drink water. Drink lots and lots of water until lunchtime, and then I go to the treadmill, and then after that, then I eat. And that's because of the whole 30-minute rule. Before you eat and after you eat, you have to wait 30 minutes. So right there, if I want to eat something, that's an hour of not drinking water. So I haven't been doing that. But he said, I told him, I said, listen, I can't eat more at my meals, like lunch and dinner, because I'm full. I just get full. Like, I can't eat anymore. He said, well, you need to start having snacks. You need to have a morning snack. You need to have an afternoon snack for a couple hundred calories each. He wants my caloric goal, daily goal, to be about 1,200, which is doable. I'm just going to have to get creative with my drinking of the water thing. If I have to have a snack, then I have to have a snack. Then I have to be better about drinking more water throughout the day. I can feel my hair getting bigger as we're talking. Oh my God, I can feel it getting frizzy. Oh, sweet Jeebus. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to try to do that. On that note, I've also considered doing one of those, what I eat in a day videos. I might think about doing that. I mean, it's not going to be terribly exciting, but I've been watching those. They are kind of helpful for me to watch other people. So if it's going to be helpful for you, maybe I'll try it. So I asked him some specific questions, and this is when he told me that I need to chillax, basically. I'm a numbers girl. I like precision. I like accuracy. So he tells me, okay, have 1,200 calories a day. No problem. Okay, I'll do that. How many grams of protein? How many grams of carbs? How many grams of fat? Tell me what my goals are, and I will do it. And he says, okay, you're thinking about it way too much. And I was like, well, I need to be precise. So he's like, you need to stop being so OCD. You're doing awesome. You've lost more weight than most people have. You're doing a tremendous job. You're exercising. You're hitting all these right marks. The only thing to say, because I told him, I said, listen, I'm staying below 60 grams of carbs per day. And when I start breaching 50, I start getting nervous. So I've always been kind of carb shy since the surgery. So he says, you can have more. You can have that. As long as you're having more protein than carbs, then that's fine. So, okay. So I said, well, how many grams of protein should I be having? He's like, more than 80. I'm like, well, my average right now is 95. Should I go more than that? Is there such thing as too much protein? He's like, stop worrying about it. You're doing the right things. You can have more carbs, have more calories, just have more protein than carbs. All right, Bernie? So I was like, yeah, okay, I got it. Okay, fine. So I guess, he says that he's really pleased with that. He asked me what I wanted my goal weight to be. So I'm 35 years old. For those of you who don't know, I don't know why you would know, but I'm 35. I'm about 5'9", 5'8", 5'9", and he said, "What's your goal weight?" And I said, "I don't know, like 165, 170." He's like, "I would think 180 would be a good goal for you." He said, "We don't want you to be tiny, tiny thin." And I was like, "Well, quite frankly, I don't think I could be tiny, tiny thin. I don't think I came out of my mother. I'm convinced I came out of my mom at like 250 pounds. So maybe 200 pounds." But anyway, I don't want to be super skinny. I don't think I could. I don't think I have the frame to support, super skinny. So if I could get to, 170, I'd be super pleased with that. And he says, you'll be able to do that. You'll definitely be able to do that if I continue at the same rate, which is why it's so important that I up my calorie goals to keep my metabolism going. Because if my body thinks that it's starving and I start getting malnourished, then my metabolism is going to go all screwy, which we don't want to do. But according to my blood work, I'm not malnourished. Yes, my iron is low, so I need to start taking more iron. He said my B1 and my vitamin A are slightly low, very slightly low. So I'm going to have to, I asked him if I should start taking B1 or A in addition to my regular multivitamins. He said no, it's probably going to even out, especially with the more food that you're going to be eating. If I'm going to be increasing my food by, 400 calories a day, then it should probably even out, since it was just under the minimum threshold. So those will be fine. The only thing that I need to add now is just iron. So that's not bad for a 3-month snapshot, my first 3 months. So really happy with that. I'm pleased as punch with it. My husband, I'm not sure if I've talked a whole lot about him, but he's a large guy too, and he's had a lot of health issues in his past. I've been really fortunate in my life. I haven't had that many, other than obesity and, some comorbidities that have been a result of that. But he has some other issues going on, but I'm not going to get into that. So, but he's a large man too. He has a very high BMI, and he's always been really shy. He doesn't really trust doctors all that much. He doesn't trust surgeons. He's had a lot of, bad experiences. So, and I can't fault him for that, but I was really hoping that when I had the surgery and it would be successful, and that would maybe change his thinking, maybe this would be okay thing, because I would really like for him to, I feel better. I feel so much better already, and I'm only 3 months out. I can only imagine the more weight that I lose, the more stamina I get, that I'll feel better and better. And I want that for him too, and I want that for you. So if you're pre-op and you're going through this, and I know it sucks, but it'll be worth it. It will really, really be worth it. Like I said, I'm only 3 months out, and it's already worth it for me. My only regret so far from this whole experience is that I didn't do it sooner. And what a regret to have, so it's just been a wild ride so far, and it's still early. It's only been 3 months, and that blows my mind, and I'm down 80 pounds. So it's just wild. And, my husband was saying, he's like, you're taking it for granted. And I do sometimes. He's like, I need to hand you, like, I don't know, a bag full of 80 pounds and then have you walk around with it. And you'll be like, holy shit, I remember being this tired and being this sore and all this stuff. So I can see it happening. I'm a very impatient person, and I just know that I still have a long way to go. Don't get me wrong. I'm really excited about my trip to Vegas in a few weeks. We'll see about the alcohol thing. Oh, that's one thing that I am excited about. So as I mentioned, I've been kind of shy when it comes to carbs. And he's telling me, that I can have more carbs if I want, just stay higher on protein, which has never been a problem for me. So the other day we went out for breakfast, and I've not had breakfast in a long, long time. Normally I just have a protein shake or whatever. But we actually went out for breakfast on Sunday, and we went somewhere, and of course they give you choose your eggs, choose your fatty meats, and then choose what type of potato you want, and then choose. So you get to choose a type of potato, like hash browns or whatever, home fries or whatever. And then on top of that, you get to choose more carbs. Do you want bread? Do you want English muffin? Do you want a muffin, like a big honkin' muffin? Or do you want fruit? I'm like, Jesus, carb central. But I had 2 eggs, and I tried some turkey sausage, which I probably shouldn't have, because every time I tried chicken sausage, it doesn't sit well with me. But they didn't have turkey sausage, and I didn't want to have regular sausage. Well, I wanted it, but I probably shouldn't have it. And then I had a couple of the potatoes and half of 1 piece of toast, just so I could dip it in the delicious runny yolk. But that was it. So I had some carbs, and it was okay. And I need to remember that it's okay to have them in very small portions. And I'm still getting used to the fact that when I have a plate of food at a restaurant and they put it in front of me, I'm not going to eat that whole thing. So when I'm looking at a menu trying to decide what I'm going to have, I need to remember, I'm not going to eat the whole thing. So it's okay to have it, to order it. If you're going to make 3 meals out of it, or I give some to him, or I don't eat the whole thing, that's fine. I can have it. I'm just having such small quantities. That's what it is. Anyway, like I said, I've recorded this video a whole bunch of times and it's been epic failures. But it looks like this one's going okay so far. I'm hitting the 20-minute mark, which is generally how long it takes for me. And it looks like it's about to rain here. It's my backyard. And my hair is getting bigger and bigger and frizzier and frizzier. So I think I'm going to end this video for now. Oh, that's one thing. Sorry, just one last thing before you go. Sorry. You'll notice I'm not wearing any rings. Usually I wear rings and jewelry, but I am not anymore. They were getting too loose and I almost lost one, so I just took them off. So one day when I get to my goal weight, I'll go and I'll get them resized and then I'll be able to wear them again. But right now it's just not worth it. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep saying I'm going to wrap it up, but then I keep talking. There's one thing. I swear this is the last thing. I'm looking at buying a new activity tracker. I tried the Fitbit, ruined my life. I don't like it. I was way too anal about it, but I want a new one. Some sort of fitness tracker or activity tracker. And I'm going to condition myself to be cool and not let it ruin my life. And not worry too much about the precision or the accuracy. I just wanted just an idea of how much I'm doing or have goals to work towards. And not specific goals, but like I want to be able to do better and better and better, especially when I'm in Las Vegas. I know I'm going to be doing a lot of walking and I want to have an idea. So there's a couple that I'm looking at Withings, which they have one Activité, which looks awesome. It looks just like a phone, or it looks like just like a watch, excuse me. Now, I love my watch. It's actually loose right now. I've got a nice high-end watch and it's beautiful. I love it, but I really want some sort of activity tracker. So I'm looking at Withings. I'm also waiting on a couple of weeks for the next Apple event, and maybe we'll see if they make an announcement about the next Apple Watch. I really want something that's waterproof or at least water resistant, because I want to be able to. I always leave this watch on when I go into the shower or when I go in the pool or something like that. I'm not good about it, so. That's what I'm thinking about. So if anybody out there has any recommendations or has any knowledge or suggestions or advice about activity trackers, like I said, I tried the Fitbit, not a big fan. I don't like their interface all that much. I don't, once again, it's not entirely accurate, but I don't think any of them really are. So anyway, if you have any experience or you have any recommendations, come at me. I would love to hear them. Other than that, I will catch up with you all later. I hope you're doing really, really well. Thank you for checking in with me. Love you all. Talk to you later. Bye.